Hello, I'm Marcus, and I'm going to talk about setting up a block theme. In my previous video, I talked about just using the TT1 Blocks theme to create to start playing with a theme. So just downloading that theme, it's installed from the directory, and being able to just get something installed quickly and be able to play and learn kind of about the new block themes and just get started. That's what this theme is here. In this video, I'm going to talk about creating your own block theme and kind of starting from the starter theme, generate it, and then kind of start from scratch. It's not purely from scratch, but it is a kind of a blank canvas that you can start with. So on GitHub, WordPress has a theme experiments repository. And so if you clone this repository, and this one will take a little bit more kind of developer setup. You're going to clone a repository, run a PHP script to generate the theme, and then you can start playing with it. And that's pretty much the whole demo there. But in this theme experiments repository, clone that locally. And then inside of there's this new empty theme PHP file. So I have that cloned here. Make sure I'm up to date. And then I'm just going to run that file. And if I run help, it will, nope, I'm thinking of the create block demo. So if I run that file, it's going to prompt me for my, what I want to name it. So I am not going to be creative here. I'm just going to call it my block. And this is my block theme. And I can put my name there. And it doesn't matter. And this is how I started. I did actually start a theme called Core Zone. And this is how I started that theme. Which you can find at this repository. I don't plan to check in this theme. This is just an example I'm setting up. So inside of here, it created a new theme called My Block. And so I'm going to copy that to my WordPress site. I have a site at beta. I'm just going to copy that into the themes directory here. I'm just going to copy that. All right. So, and that will generate the full site for me. So if I come in here, or the full theme, I should say, I'm sorry. So in appearance, themes, my block theme. So this is the theme I just generated. And if I activate that and visit the site, I have an empty block theme. Yours might show up white. I think mine is not showing up as white because I set the background to that TT1 green background. If I click this and say reset defaults and save it, this tells you what's being saved. And then if I go back and visit the site, I think I'll have that white background. I think it was picking up that, yeah, maybe not. I don't know, maybe it got changed too. I don't know if that background should default to that green color, which is fine. We can change it too as we go. So there it is. That's what I thought. It just didn't get reset. So it should start off, when you start out, it'll look very similar to this. It's just kind of an empty canvas that you can then build up your theme. So let's look and see what it actually created. So I'll switch to that directory. And then this is the My Block theme. And then these are the files that it generated. And so inside of there, it's very similar to what TT1 looks like. We have an index template and a singular template. An index will show on the first page, and singular will show when you're looking at a single, like if you're looking at a single post. So this is a single post view, and this is they don't look too different right now, but this is the index view. And then also the headers and footers are in the template parts directory, or only a header in this case. We can add a footer there if we wanted to. So then to build up your theme, you would go into the site editor, which is in this section, and then you would build out whatever you'd like. So in here, let's just do a couple of quick things. I'm not going to do too much customization. And showing you an example of a query loop. I just want to, I'll just add a group block, and I'll add this query loop to that group block. And then I can use I'll just show a quick example of the layout. Let's say we only want this to be 80%. Let's do 60%, so it's very noticeable. Save it, save it. In this group block also I can change the color. So on this page, we'll do that color to be, sure. Looks great. And then when you're viewing the page that's been saved, it'll now show up and showing the content in the middle part. And this is now 60%, so that's nice. And then you just edit and change things as you go and as you want. You can add in different blocks. There's all sorts of different block types. So inside the query block, I don't see a date in here. I just see the title and an excerpt. If I wanted to add the post date, I would add a post date. There's a post date, and I'll add it in there. You can add in tags. You can add in other pieces. I don't think I talked about in the last one. Just like in post, you have these post dates and post titles and excerpts parts. You have the same for this site. So in the header, this tag up here is a site title, site tagline. So you add all these pieces in as blocks, and then it will autofill in. So I'm not like adding in text. I'm not adding in a text block that says the site. I'm adding in the block that is the site title. So then if someone else uses this theme, it will pull in their site title to this block, or pull in their site tagline. That's how the query block works also. I'm not setting the title of this post to hello world. It's just using whatever query pulls open to show hello world. So I'll save that one. And then if I look at the singular view, I won't have those changes. And in here, you can see the minor difference. You don't see it because this text is rather small. It's not long. So this one was the excerpt, post excerpt, but it's just a short amount of text. Whereas in the singular view, it's going to be the post content. And the placeholder looks like this because it doesn't know how long that content might be. You don't want to have like a full post in the editor view. So we can do a similar thing. I'll add a group block here. And the group block is just, oops, I missed my click. The group block is just like a generic block that you can use for all sorts of, it's almost like a div. You can actually assign it whatever tag you want to assign it. By default, it is a div, but like this case, I want to assign it an article tag. Save it. And then let's drag these into that group block. So it allows you to group things together, and it allows you to kind of, oops, drag that block in there too. And then here you can see I missed it in this case, right? Because it's not indented. So this is the list view. So use the list view as a very, very handy tool. And there, added it to it. And then in group, I can do the same type of, the same layout. I can add it in here 60%, save it. And then this will have the whole thing. And we can change this color. Let's change this color to be a yellow background. So now we have a similar, I save the template. And then when I view it on the home page, we'll see blue. And on this page, we'll see yellow. If I change the post itself, you can see the excerpt and the content difference. So let's just add in some text here. I'll type quick. That's probably enough. Let's just do another one. and update that. So now when I look at that homepage, it'll just be, that's the singular view, and the homepage will just have an excerpt of it. It has the read more. And then you can add in all sorts, whatever you want to do with the site. Add in different columns. You can add in, if I wanted a left column, I can add in a columns block. So if you wanted like do a a common 2-column layout, I can do a columns block. Let's do a 30, 70. So that my 70 columns here. And then I want this to be the 30. So then I can just drag this whole group block into there. And then now this 60% is going to be there. So probably want to change this content to be, probably don't want to specify because it's going to be probably that width. And then on this side, you can do navigation blocks or whatever additional blocks you want to do. If you want to add a navigation over here, whatever it might be, this could be like a widgets area. The nice thing is you don't need a, you can just add any blocks you want. You can add, let's add all pages. I only have a sample page, but then you can also add like social links, or whatever else you want to add in there. You can add a link and add your link. What is this? Or whatever you might want to add and build up your theme that way. You can save it. And then depending on how you want your themes and your pages, let's view this. So this will show on this page. It's not much of a design yet, but it'll show on this page. But then on this page, the singular view, it will not show there. So an easy way you can do that is then you can save this stuff to the file system. You can still copy and paste from the file system. And I'll show you just how all the templates are structured. They're just the markup of these blocks. So if you look at, as I'm making all these changes locally, they're not being, this is a leftover from the previous example, which is kind of interesting now because now we have 2 different indexes. I'll just tell you what they're from. So this is from the theme TT1 Blocks because I was editing that one. And then this is the index for the current My Block theme. I hadn't seen that before, so that's pretty cool actually. So if I go into here and do edit, I'll see the same template, but in this view, I can do the code editor and I can see what markup is being used. And if I copy that, and I'm just going to paste that to the template here. Let me change my owner to all this. All right. Index. So now if I can just paste all that in, you can use, I tend to use Vim, use whatever you like. And so this will have my markup. So then I can delete this template. This is what's stored in the database. So I can delete what's stored in the database. And when it tries to pull open that template, it will just use what's on the file system instead, since it doesn't find it. So we still see the same. And those match to here. So if you wanted to see, I can alter here and it will switch it. So here it has the Twitter one. So if I change this to be, we'll do a link to, doesn't matter, my blog. I want to say this service is WordPress. I think it's all lowercase. Let's see what happens. And I reload. Yeah, I think it has to be all lowercase. And then I'll pull it in there. So it's actually, you can see it's pulling in from the template itself. So what I was going to say is, since I don't have, my singular view doesn't have that same template, I can just copy the same parts, right? So you can see, here's a group I made, here's the columns I made, here's that center column. So I can copy that, open up the singular template, and switch it over to here, right? So in this one there's a title and content. You want to be careful with what you're doing so you know things match up. Here's the title from the other one. And it's just the same as if you were going to be doing a regular theme and doing it in PHP. You still need everything to line up and be accurate. Right, so there's my loop. There's my two content pieces in that loop. If I save that and now reload here, it won't change. If you know why it won't change, it's because the template part is being read from the database. Oops, the template is being read from the database. And so I made the change locally. So the way the template hierarchy works is if there's anything in the database, it'll pull that in first. If it's not in the database, then it'll go to the file system. So if we delete that from the database, and then we reload that page, here's the center page, and then there's and we lost the yellow because now it's being pulled from we copied it here. So if you wanted that same yellow, you can do, I don't know what the color is called actually. Each of the colors has a name, so you can like specify the color here. Pale cyan. I think it's like, we can look it up. So the colors are here. And if you mouse over them, they'll have the color. Luminous, that's too. Light green cyan, let's call it that. The other one, I don't want to spell luminous. Light green cyan. And this is, so now when I load this view, I'll get the light green. I did it right. There it is. So, and then you can go through and you can build up your theme. You can build the headers also. You can use, if you wanted to build this whole centerpiece as a template part, you can build that as a template part and then include them. Template parts can include it like that. If you wanted to build a footer template part, you can just create inside the template parts directory, just create a footer file. I'll just do this really quick. We'll just do a very simple footer. Let's copy that. Copy the header to the footer. Doesn't even have. Let's just do, I think it's like WP paragraph. Like that. You usually don't want it. Like you can do this in the editor, but I just want to do a quick one here. WP paragraph. And now if I load this is the page, it won't come in automatically because the template doesn't have it specified. So then you can go into either the site editor. You can do it either way. I created the template on the file system. I could have done it from here also. You can have template part. You can add a template part, and I can create a new one here, or I can choose an existing one. Existing ones and choose the footer. It looks in this directory and sees what exists. And I can write the footer, and there it is. Hi, I'm a footer. So save that. And so now if I load that page, it will be the footer. I would need to add it on each template. It's not on this template. So you'd want to add it there too. So I can say template part. It's a type of block. And then add the footer there also. And save it. And then those will both show up on both those pages. So at the bottom, there's a footer. Then on this page, you'd have the same footer. So that's how you'd use different template parts. Oh, I lost my green. I wonder why I lost the green. Did I save? Oops. This one came back to being saved. So let's save. Oh, I have two windows open too. So I might be saving something I don't need to. In my block, I shouldn't need that one either. Oh, because I saved it so it disappeared. Of course I need this because I just deleted what I updated. So you can do it also. So that's another, I like kind of doing things on the file system sometimes too, because it's easier to know it's always there. So you can just add, that's what a template part block looks like that. The slug is footer and saying what theme you're getting it from. And then the tag name it's going to use for it. So I can save that. And then also add it at the singular. And so now when I load those pages, I'll pull them in. And then you'd want to build it up, add whatever you need to the themes, add different templates, add different parts. You can add tag pages and anything else you'd like with that regard. I hope that gets you started. Brief recap, go to the theme experiments, GitHub repo, run this file, just PHP, run that file. It'll generate, ask you a couple questions, and it'll generate your template. And then you just kind of go in and edit the template in the site editor, create new templates as you want, create new template parts, get whatever design you want as you're building out your theme, and then kind of persist them down to the file system as you want to save it. And there's also this this block export, so you can do everything in the site editor and just keep editing away and get it how you like. And then at the end, use the export, and it will make a zip file. You can copy all the files down. I do like interim steps to save it down just as I go, because then I can commit things and I can check. And just the way I like to work, you can work however you like. But there you go. Hope that helps. Enjoy. Cheers.